All right, the sun got too much for me, so I had to move. Okay, so now since we understand the way that carbs work, the way that fats work, and the way that proteins work, we can have a good feel for the way that we need to structure our meals and our approach to dieting. So when we wake up in the morning and we're gonna go work out, at least the way that our schedule is structured, it's we get up and we go to the gym. So like we covered earlier, when you need energy now, what do you go for? You go for your simple carbohydrates. So there's a time of day where you can enjoy your fruit, and I would say enjoy your juice, but honestly, eating an orange compared to eating or drinking a cup of orange juice is going to give you twice as much fiber and half the sugars. So juice isn't as good as fruit in its original state. So when you're going to have your sugars that you like, go to the store and buy your strawberries, buy your oranges, cut them up and eat them. Don't drink them out of a carton. Um, Smoothies, carbohydrates, like simple sugars like Gatorade, energy drinks, all these things need to go out the window. They're all marketed as being great for you because they do have vitamins in them. But you can get all these vitamins from your food. Don't buy juice smoothies and drink them. They're just loaded with sugars, and we know that they're going to be stored as body fat. So, but if you are going to have your smoothie, if you are going to have your piece of chocolate, if you are going to, drink your juice or have your fruit, have it before you go work out or immediately after you work out, so your body is going to absorb it. The way that we structure our meals are we have our first primary meal of the day, which is pretty high in carbohydrates. I prefer a sugar-free Greek yogurt um, with some unsweetened granola or raw oats and fruit of your choice. So you house that and you go to the gym, get your workout in, and then you can come back and preferably have a meal with a carb and a protein and some veggies. So, but if you don't have time for that, then get a low sugar, low calorie protein shake, mix it with water or almond milk. Don't use milk, not even skim milk. Um, and you can add your sugars to the protein shake. So that way, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You can have your low sugar shake in the evening without adding oats to it and blending it, or adding a banana and a little bit of peanut butter after a workout when you need the extra calories and you need the extra sugars. So you can have that post-workout, or you can ideally have your meal with your fish and your carbohydrate. You can have simple carbs now. So you could have fish with an apple and some veggies, since you're directly post-workout. And then throughout the day, as you're snacking on your nuts and having your low sugar protein shake if you're down, and look for low calorie shakes. So you want a shake that's under 200 calories. You don't want some loaded, high in saturated fat, high in sugar shake. Look for low sugars, low saturated fat, low calories. Then your meal number two, your main meal, should be a protein. So the size, if you don't have measuring cups and you don't want to cut things up and measure, they say that a good rule to stick to is your protein should be the size of your fist, your carbohydrate should be the size of your fist, and then the other third of the plate should be green veggies. Now you need to have your complex carbohydrates. For the rest of the day, simple sugars are out the window unless you need like a little energy spike. And then you could either have a green tea with a little bit of honey in it. Coffee and unsweetened tea are a go at all times. Lots of water. That really should be your only beverages. Alcohol, I know that we all want it in moderation. I absolutely love beer, but you got to cut it out. It's definitely not good for the body, and it just stores us tons of fat, and it makes you want to eat. But your main meal, you can have your lean protein with your complex carbs, which are your sweet potatoes. You can cut them up and saute them, or you can bake them in the oven and make them look like fries. Or you can have your whole grain rice, or so you can take your whole grain rice, put a tablespoon of olive oil in it to give it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of healthy fat, a little bit of salt and pepper. It's really not bad. You can have whole grain tortillas. Don't overdo it. They're high in calories, like I said, but you need your complex carbohydrates. So have one on the side, or you can put your veggies and your meat into it, house it, that makes for a good meal. Then you're going to have another snack throughout the day, and in the evening, when you have your last meal, it needs to be your lowest carbohydrate meal of the day. Definitely when you're going to have your carbs, they need to be a smaller portion and most certainly complex, so they're digested more slowly. Eat lots of fish. Don't eat big fish because it's high in mercury levels, but lots of white light fish is great, and the occasional salmon's obviously good for all the healthy fats. You can look up tons of healthy eating options, low calorie options. Like I said, you want to have a comfortable range for where you're coming in at calories per day, with 1 to 2 cheat meals a week. So you do get to go out and have your hamburger with fries once or twice a week, and also one of your most active days of the week. So say pick a day where you're going to do an extra 20 minutes of cardio. You can add a calorie spike where you will have, say, another extra 500 calories a day in carbohydrates to aid in the recovery process and to help keep you sane. Yeah, so that should cover it for general meal structuring. And if you guys have any other questions, just hit me up, and whenever I get a few that are the same, I'll make a general post, or you can obviously ask someone who's an expert. Alright, so now since we've got a good feel for the way that foods work and the way we should structure our meals, I'm going to talk about conditioning. I'm going to talk about cardio and about weight training. You oftentimes hear a guy who's big and bulky say, I hate cardio, I just want to lift, I just want to get big. Well, cardio is just as important, if not more important, than weight training. But sometimes you'll also hear a girl say, hey, I'm not comfortable going on the weight room, there's just guys in there, or I don't want to get bulky, I just want to get lean and slender. Well, lean muscle mass comes from weight training, and weight training also benefits us in bone density and our postures and being strong and avoiding injury. So we've got to use both cardio and weight training in our workout regimens. The importance of cardio is not only does it help us burn calories and control our weight and lose body fat, it's also great for our hearts. It helps our lungs absorb oxygen better, which is going to help us live a healthier lifestyle. It's going to give us better endurance. We're going to be more alert throughout the day. And with weight training, not only is it going to give us more shapely muscles and help us with muscle growth, like I said, it helps with injury prevention. It helps with bone density, and with as people age, it'll help us avoid injuries. So when we're talking cardio is anything that gets the heart rate up for an extended period of time. It could be dancing, it could be making love, it could be getting on a treadmill. Christ almighty, I said making love. Nah, I'm not even going to edit that out. We'll just leave it. Yeah, it could be going for a run, boxing, whatever. But super important to do. If you're on a mission to lose weight, you've got to do cardio. Calories burnt over calories in. If we're at a calorie deficit at the end of the day, we lost weight. And cardio is one of the easiest ways to get an edge on that. So the way that I like to structure my workouts, and there's just 100 different ways to work out. As long as you're getting it in, there's really no wrong or right, as long as your form's right, you're warming up correctly, and you're on a consistent regimen that allows your muscles and body time to recover. So the way that I approach the gym is I go in and I spend about 10 minutes warming up. I don't static stretch. Going into a gym cold and starting to do this with cold muscles, or stretching your hamstrings, pulling your arms over your back, whatever it is that you're doing is not a good idea. You're weakening muscle tissue and you're increasing the chances of yourself getting hurt. I know that seems old school, like everyone in the old days was all about stretching, but it's actually not the best move to do pre-workout. Pre-workout, you need to get a sweat. You need to build a sweat and then actively warm up. If you're going to train your shoulders, get light dumbbells and work them out. If you're going to train your legs, do lunges, bounce up and down, whatever it is that gets the blood in those muscles. And then if you're sore, you can lightly stretch, but make sure you're sweating first. After we're warmed up, you can approach either training a muscle group. Say if you had a regimen for 5 days a week where you were training, your chest and your tris, your back and your bis, or if you're just doing an upper body circuit, so you're combining strength training with cardio. If you don't have a lot of time, sometimes that's a good way to approach it. And then doing a lower body circuit the next day. Just make sure that you're not avoiding things just because they're difficult. We all need to train our legs. Training your quads and your legs are going to help your entire body grow. It's going to help you be more athletic. Don't just go in there and try to get the big chest and the big arms. After you're done working out is whenever I like to do cardio. I don't like to do a lot of cardio before weight training because I feel weak. I feel cooked. And I feel like I need sugars. So I like to go in and, drink all my water, get my lift in, then get on the cardio. I've been going an hour a day for 6 days a week, but that's pretty hardcore. You want to aim for at least 3 days a week, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour of cardio each day. And then after you're done doing cardio, get off the treadmill and now do your static stretches. Now hold your stretches and do the nice long stretches and take deep breaths. I would also advise doing yoga. Yoga is incredibly good for strengthening the core, for strengthening all muscles and helping with flexibility. It's all good stuff. Even guys, get in there. Range of motion means you're more athletic and just means you're more able to play sports or do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm pretty sure that should cap it off. One, I'm ridiculously tired. It's 7 in the morning. I think I started this at 3. Apparently this is the first video I've ever made, so I'm just awful at editing it. And I really hope this helps. I'm really rooting for you guys. I love seeing people do good. It's my favorite thing in the world to watch people gain confidence and get strong and achieve goals. So I'll be rooting for you guys, and please post updates. I really hope this helps. Good luck.